Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. Today is June 5th, and right now we are looking at the visible satellite imagery. You can see BC, Washington, Oregon. Check out the clouds across Montana, Idaho, and Oregon, kind of a precursor to the thunderstorm activity over the next 3 days there. And we are going to warm up here as we go through midweek, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Quite warm here across the region. We'll take a look at those details. We'll also take a look at the potential Friday, Saturday for some of this moisture to move back up across western Washington into southwest BC. No promises just yet, but something we're just keeping an eye on. And if you want a nice, affordable home weather station, solar powered, totally wireless, nice and affordable, very accurate, click on that link down below to save 10%. This is my home station. You can see the things updating. You can access this data anywhere you can access the web, and you can see UV and solar radiation. These sensors are extremely accurate here, so I highly recommend this weather station. Taking a look here, you can see the troughing across BC here, upper level low spinning across California. What you don't see is there's going to be a thermal trough creeping up the coastline here, and we're going to turn things offshore and really warm up here as we go through midweek here coming up. More on that here in a moment. This is looking at Wednesday being probably the warmest day across western Washington, mid and upper 80s for Seattle. Look at Olympia checking in towards 90, Coolute 78 degrees here. Nice graphic here from the National Weather Service Seattle. This is a significant wildland fire potential outlook. Look at the Pacific Northwest. We are just bullseyed here across the summer months, so let's do our best not to enhance any of this fire risk over the next few months. This is looking at Seattle, 70 degrees, 1 degree above average, no precipitation. The unusually dry streak continues here, but we may put an end to that this weekend, but it's kind of a fickle forecast. No promises just yet, and we are going to warm up here as we go through the next few days here across Seattle as well. This is day one thunderstorm outlook. You can see some severe potential across western Montana into Idaho. And tomorrow you can see we're going to have strong thunderstorms develop across Nevada and potentially move into southern Oregon and Idaho tomorrow, including Boise being under the gun for a severe thunderstorm as well. Wednesday, again, kind of a repeat, but a bit further north across eastern Oregon, Idaho, and Montana, southwest Montana there. This would be for Wednesday afternoon. This is looking at the NAM3 This is what the Doppler radar may look like here over the next few days. You can see Montana and Idaho getting involved today. Maybe a thunderstorm across some of the east slopes of the Oregon Cascades, southern portions there as we go through the afternoon. And we're going to kind of do something similar tomorrow, but you'll see those strong thunderstorms come out of Nevada. Look at Boise, maybe tomorrow night getting a strong thunderstorm there as well into southern Oregon. Also, Wednesday, that is going to focus a little bit further north. Also, you can see some of these strong storms potentially across Idaho and Montana also. Now, this is looking at the NAM3KM, 925 millibars, about 2,500 feet off the surface, kind of showing some of our terrain features. You can see these westerly winds as they come through with the afternoon heating into eastern Washington. That's why they have wind farms all along the east coast of the Cascade Mountains there. But watch what happens as we put this into motion. You can see the Okanagan River. This is kind of a cold air conduit during the winter months, and it also brings in some gusty winds during our offshore events during the summertime. Look at the Fraser River Valley will be going to. The Chehalis Gap will reverse. Columbia River Gorge. So just kind of a nice diagram of our terrain features here. And you can see Wednesday morning, a little bit of offshore flow continuing here. Wednesday likely being the hottest day. And then you can see the gradients relax by Wednesday afternoon, meaning the thermal trough is going to be centered right across western Washington up into southwest BC before it finally and slowly starts to move off to the east. This is looking at the mean sea level pressure anomaly. You can see the thermal trough as it starts to build up the coastline here. High pressure over BC and Alberta, and you can see by tomorrow afternoon it's centered over western Washington and Oregon. Wednesday likely the warmest day here. Then it'll eventually slowly creep east, but Thursday should be another quite warm day here across the area as well. This is the wider view of things here. This is the yesterday afternoon's European versus the GFS. These are both ensemble means. And you can see the huge ridge over Canada here. Trough weakens over BC. Ridging builds over the Pacific Northwest. Quite warm this midweek coming up here. And then you can see pretty good model agreement with another ridge building as we go into the early portion of next week. Now I'm going to back up a little bit here. And you see this next trough coming across the west coast on both the GFS and the European. This could potentially bring some of that deeper moisture back across western Washington and southwest BC as we go through Friday. More on that here in a moment. Now we're speeding back ahead again here. It's Monday afternoon. Look at the ridge offshore warming up again next week, possibly. You can see a trough kind of moving by to the north, and then this is where the models really start to diverge. Look at the European with the big ridge over the Gulf of Alaska here, and the GFS with troughing here along the west coast. But that's kind of to be expected here. We're looking 300 hours out at this point here. So that's something we'll have to watch and try to work out in future forecasts. This is looking at precipitable water. GFS, you see the deeper moisture across Idaho, Montana, Oregon. And as we go on in through Tuesday, something similar there. Wednesday again. But then as we go on in through Thursday and Friday, look at this moisture try to move from east to west across western Washington, out into southwest BC. Could bring some convection across the Cascades and some of the higher terrain. So we'll see how that forecast evolves here. As the European showing something similar. This is the GFS, total precipitation in inches. And you'll see the thunderstorms kind of going for the next few days off to the Oregon, Idaho, and Montana. And then you'll see as we go through Friday, look at some of this try to move out over western Washington. This is the GFS, hot off the presses, southwest BC, maybe some convection as well. And you can see maybe BC getting some precip as we go on in through Saturday night to Sunday also. So something to watch for now, but these setups are pretty fickle, and we're just going to have to wait and see. This is the European. And I'm going to back this one up a little bit actually here. Let's go to yesterday afternoons. It goes out a little bit further, and you can kind of see that deeper moisture off to the east. But then as we go through Thursday, you see it start to encroach from the east and potentially move out over western Washington and BC there. So that's what we'll be watching as we go through the week coming up here. This is National Blend of Models, daily 2-meter max temperature, low 70s for Seattle. Look at Portland, Willamette Valley getting into the 80s there. A little bit chilly along the coastline there, especially with that north wind out there as well. But look at eastern Washington getting up into the 90s also. Tomorrow we really start warming up, 80 for Seattle. Look at Portland, probably into the lower 90s here. Eastern Washington warming up. Look at Boise, 90 degrees here. The valleys of BC warming up nicely. Southwest BC warming up. And then Thursday, look at mid and upper 80s for Seattle. Quite warm across the region. Maybe another 90-degree day here for Portland. Look at the valleys of BC really warming up here. Maybe another 90-degree day for Boise, Idaho there also. Thursday, still warm. Low 80s for Seattle. Friday, a bit of a cool down here. Maybe some of that cloud cover coming back across the region. Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Notice we start to warm up a bit here again as we start to build a ridge, maybe right offshore. So we'll see how that trends over the next few days as well. This is 6 to 10 day temperature probability outlook for the Pacific Northwest. You can see the above average signal. 8 to 14 day goes out to June 18th here as well. This is 6 to 10 day precipitation. Intermountain West above average. Some of that moisture could move up across the Cascades in western Washington here. And then you see 8 to 14 day all the way up through June 18th. So anyway, yeah, I will post a comment, actually a message on the page here for Audrey Pannier, I believe how you pronounce the name. And she has won the weather station. She has 2 days to collect it. And if not, I'll go ahead and do another giveaway coming up here. But anyway, yeah, I hope you guys get out and enjoy the weather here. Watch out for those thunderstorms developing potentially later in the week too. We'll talk about that again tomorrow. Hope you guys are liking these videos, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow.